Hi there everyone, welcome back to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. I'm Cassie Trask. Today we're going to be using the Spellbinders Poet's Garden collection, and I'm focusing on the Clematis Poet. This is 7 dies, and this is what you're going to get. They're so pretty. You've got your 4 dies to make your beautiful petals, you've got the rest of it, and they even tell you how many you need to die cut out to make your flower. We're also going to be using the Poet's Garden Sentiment. This is a press and foil, meaning you can put it through your better press or use it in your Glimmer hot foil system. So that's really great. Lots of uses for that, and it's got some really pretty sentiments for that. So let's go ahead and get started. To save time, I die cut out all the pieces I needed. I used a light purple cardstock, and I am going to add some color. So I brought in my Altenew blending brush along with some Distress ink. This is Villainous Potion. I'm just kind of starting in the center and working out towards the outside of those petals. Some of that color ends up getting a little bit lost once you put these together, but I did try to put one together without, and you can tell. So I highly recommend adding some color. That adds to the look, the lifelike look of the flowers. And so I even add some more color later on. But you definitely want to add a little bit of color just to, whether it be sprays or distress inks, however you want to do that. Now, to make these petals look even more lifelike, you do want a paper sculpting kit. And so that's what I'm using. I'm using a stylus to really break up the fibers of the paper and bend those petals so that they look more realistic. I'm going to show you here in a second just how bending those petals and using that paper sculpting kit helps those petals really come to life. And so I'll do that for all 4 of the petals, and then we can start piecing everything together. So you could even flip it over, do it on the back. I'm going to focus mostly on the fronts of the petals because I want these to be rounded up so that they can form more of a flower. But that just breaks up the paper fibers and helps that to move a little bit more so that it's not so stiff. You could try to crumple it, but I think having a paper sculpting kit is really the way to go. I've tried both ways, and this is the best way to get that most lifelike look. We're working on our final petal, and then we can start adhering those petals together. All right, so to adhere these together, I highly recommend using a liquid glue. And so I'm going to use some Barely Art glue, and you're just going to use dollops in the center. And I'm working from the biggest petal up to the smallest petal. So now we've got our smaller ones. And you continue to add glue in the center. But you really want to use a liquid glue, something that's good and strong so that those petals can stay together. And then we'll do all 3 of them, and then we'll start working on our leaves. I went ahead and die cut out the leaves using different colors of green cardstock. I thought that would add to the variation of the flowers themselves. And so I'm bringing in some forest moss and blending that on the bottoms of each of our leaves. Now these really start to look lifelike. So once again, I bring in that paper sculptor, and I'm just really pushing on the petal. I'm going to flip it over because I don't want these to necessarily curl in, but I am going to use that center portion, or try to make that center portion look a little bit more like a stem. But take a look at that. That looks so cool. And we're going to do that for all of the leaves. I did die cut out quite a few leaves since I'm using 3 flowers. And so we're going to do that for every one of them. But I really love how that looks. They really do look realistic. And so I think if you really played around with that, you could, whether it be colors, sprays, distress inks, whatever you want to use on that, you could really, really get these to, and various colors of cardstock as well. I should try that with the petals next time. All right, so we'll do that for all the leaves, and then we're going to start working on the centers. I think these are called stamen. I am not a gardener, but I do love a flower. I just don't know much about them. So I'm going to do the same thing with that sculptor. We're going to try to get those to kind of bend in on each other. And then we can start gluing those pieces together. I did 2 for each flower. And I'm using a dollop of glue and just pushing that into the glue. And we'll do the same thing with the second one. And then there's an extra piece for the center. But I will say, the biggest thing you want to do here is have a little bit of patience because you need that glue to dry before you can really start messing with too much. So I'm going to use a reverse tweezer, and we're going to roll this one in on itself so that it's circular. And then I'll unroll it, and then I'm going to add some glue so that things will stick together. And we'll roll it back up, pull out the reverse tweezer, and just kind of squeeze that around, mess around with the little bits of the stamen, kind of get those to poke out a little bit more. You can do more of that once everything is dry. Use a good amount of glue here in the inside of the flower, and then you can just push that there. And then set everything off to the side to dry. Don't try to mess around with it until it's good and dry. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some mustard seed distress spray stain. Just a little bit of that in the center to add a little bit of extra color to the yellow stamen. And then I'm also going to bring in some antique linen. So I want to do a little bit of antique linen to add a tiny bit of brown to that. And like I said, we'll set that off to the side and we'll let all of those dry. And while those are drying, I do have a piece of 5x7 craft cardstock. I'm going to use a distressor on the edge of this piece of paper because we're going to make a 5x7 card, an A7. I did this on purpose, mostly because I was thinking if the recipient liked it enough, they could frame it as a 5x7 that's easy to frame. So we're going to go ahead and just rough up all those edges, clean up our mess, and then the next thing I want to do is spritz this with my mini mister, just a few spritzes of water. That's going to help you for this next part. I want to rough up the paper a bit, so I'm just going to crumple it. I want this to look a little bit like a paper bag, so I'm crumpling, and using the water just helps you to crumple without ripping the paper. It just kind of loosens up the fibers a little bit. And I love how this is looking. It dries pretty quickly because I didn't spray too much water on there. And then our base is going to be 10 inches by 7 inches, and we'll score that at 5 inches so that we have a 5x7 card base. And then you're going to want to glue your panel down to your base before you start adding any flowers. This just makes everything so much easier. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Give yourself a little bit of time to make sure that everything adheres where you want it to adhere. And then you'll be ready to start adhering down the flowers, which is so much fun. But before we do that, we are going to work on our sentiment because that'll take some time. So I'm going to give everything a little bit of extra time to dry. Although the Barely Art glue does dry quickly, I'm just making sure that everything is extra dry. So I decided to foil these. I've turned on my Glimmer hot foil system. We're going to let that heat up. You'll know that it's heating up when the green light comes on underneath the red light. And I'm going to go ahead and put down all the sentiments that I'm thinking about using just right on the plate. They'll start heating up in the process, which is great. I'm going to use some very smooth white cardstock. I've cut that down to be 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And then I did bring in some matte gold foil. And so I'm going to cut that down so that it'll be about the size of that A2 panel. And then you can tell my Glimmer hot foil system is ready because the green light came on. So I'm going to put the foil pretty side down and then your paper on top of that. And then you hit your button and it's going to blink. It'll blink for, I think it's about 30 seconds, maybe a little bit longer. But this is giving that opportunity for the plates to really heat up. And then once the light turns off, you can go ahead and put your other plates on top of it to run it through your die cutting system. Now, you could also use some Post-it tape to tack down your plates to your foil and make sure nothing moves. I didn't do that this time. I'm just going to carefully pull my Glimmer system away, stick my plates on top, use my fingers to make sure those plates don't move anywhere, and then I'll run this through my Spellbinders machine. And then I can pull the paper and the foil away, and then I'll use this magnetic piece to pull those plates off and cool down. And then if you pull your foil away, you'll see just how beautiful each of those sentiments are all foiled up. I'm going to use some Post-it tape on the edges of my dies, and I'll tack those down and run that through my die cutting machine. I'm going to be careful not to put it over the foil. I've never had this happen, but I don't want it to pick up any of the foil. So just on the edges of the dies. And then we'll put those away, and then we can decide which one we want to use. And I'm going to use a good amount of glue on the backs of these flowers. And then I'll stick those down. Now, the stamen are not how I want them to look, so I'm going to let things mostly dry before I start messing with those. I want those to be more curled into the center. But you can do some fluffing after everything is mostly dry. So a good amount of glue, sticking our flowers down. You can start messing with those stamen a little bit. So look at the packaging. It'll give you a little bit more of an idea of how things are supposed to look. Okay, I'm happy with how those flowers are starting to look. So now I'm going to tuck in each of those leaves behind the petals of the flowers. And yeah, I have quite a few of those leaves, but I really think it adds. So I'm going to vary up the style of the leaf and the color of the leaf as well. And so take a look, it's really coming together. All right, now that all of the leaves are just about on there, I can start thinking about which sentiment I want to use. And then I go ahead and decide I want to pop it up using some foam tape. I did grab the black foam tape. I don't think it really matters here, but that's the one I grabbed. And then we'll just peel off the release paper on the foam squares, and then we can stick that down. I didn't stop there though. I did want to add a little bit more to that background. So I bring in the Dina Wakley white gloss spray, and I'm going to splatter that all over the background. I'm even going to get it on the flowers. I'm going to try not to get it on the sentiment too much because I don't want it to cover that up, but I do a pretty good amount of splatter. And once I'm done with that and everything is dry, that's going to finish off our card for today. Yes, it's good and thick. Probably the best way to give this is by hand, maybe not to mail it. But I love this, and I'm kind of actually thinking about keeping it and framing it. So if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And be sure to check out all that ScrapbookPal has going on over on their blog, Facebook page, and Instagram for more crafty inspiration. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.